Mafia the Old Country is an origin story for the Mafia universe, and as such, is both a step forward and a return to the fundamentals of the franchise. The heart of Mafia has always been deep, immersive storytelling, and Mafia the Old Country is no exception. It's a premium experience in the vein of early Mafia games, with a linear narrative set against...
It seems like they're bringing the close combat from Mafia 2, I think.
It's a stunning...
Where you go like basically when you focus on one enemy and you're basically one by one attacking each other, like
authentic backdrop of 1900 Sicily. That focus has allowed us to deliver a classic organized crime drama in the period authentic Mafia rules and traditions of the era. And as you just saw, we've made some exciting gameplay updates. Whether you're using a knife or a gun, using stealth or in a shootout, this is brutal and grounded in all the best ways. It's all going to pull you
immersive life. What did it say? Immersive life or death game? But what do you mean by that?
Pull you in from every angle, pushing the franchise forward in a location and time.
Oh. Okay. No. No. Not this thing, please.
Created with the utmost authenticity and detail using Unreal Engine 5.
Our top goal
for every
Mafia game is to deliver the promise to a player that you're going to play a classic mob movie. Mafia the Old Country is a linear crime drama set against a beautiful
linear
backdrop.
Okay, so it's not like Mafia 3 basically with the open world. Well, actually no, I think there's going to be open world. What they mean is just the story's good.
For us was to make sure that
overthinking
we were all of the things that players expect
just woke
from a
up.
Mafia game. The quality of its storytelling, how immersive it is, how authentic it is.
It looks pretty good actually. I don't remember the last time I played the game with like Italian setting, like outside of like sort of natural beauty of that area.
Been set in big American cities. We've taken the action and we've put our story in rural Sicily. In the place
rural
where
Sicily.
The Mafia began.
You really feel like you're transported into another time. It feels really unique and different.
It does really feel like
really
something I definitely
our entry point for making
probably never tried before.
Dramas is always the protagonist. We wanted to make sure that our main character,
every single game makes you carry something like as a side quest. So not a side quest.
Lives up to the standard which we've set in the past, and I hope in some ways even exceeds that.
All of the men in this room
as a side work.
are bound by blood.
Enzo grows up in a sulfur mine. He's one of a bunch of children that are sold to the mine owners at this point in history in Sicily. Their life expectancy is short and they're essentially seen as disposable.
Enzo turns to crime as a means to make something of himself. The odds are stacked against him. So what does he do? He sees an opportunity for himself to gain some status, to gain some respect.
Do you wish to commit to this family? I do.
Swearing the oath is the chance for him to finally be accepted. He's found a family. It's the thing he's been searching for his entire life, but it comes at a cost.
I think players are in for an emotional roller coaster. The high stakes of
every time when they show like someone driving vehicles and everything, I have like a strong sense of like an Uncharted 4 vibes.
The Mafia life present opportunities for us as storytellers to take players and put players through the ringer, really, in terms of what happens to the character, what happens to them in the game.
You again.
Well, first things first, what we learned. We're gonna have very detailed hand by hand combat. Oh, sorry, hand to hand combat. Something that I think gonna be similar to what Mafia 2 had, where you kind of attacking first, they're blocking or dodging, and then they basically attacking you, and then it's your turn to block or dodge. What else I noticed? Well, driving vehicles, it's hard to almost in any game to tell like exactly how the vehicle is gonna feel. but in this video it's just kind of heavy, it's very hard to turn to the left, to the right. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be sort of like a wait to vehicles
game is to deliver the promise to
because they don't turn like crazy like you're to the left or the right. They're like more of a they're like kind of going straight forward for the most part.
Make sure that we were nailing all of the things that players expect from a
Well, there's going to be stealth,
storytelling, how immersive it is, how authentic it is,
unique design. I'm not aware, but they already mentioned that.
Our entry point for
I'm not sure how the open world is going to work out though. Like, what are you going to be able to do in this open world? In Mafia 2, like, I can see you can walk around the cities, rob stores. Well, actually, Mafia 2 open world was there too. But there's not much there was not much, there's not that many things to do. But in this area, where you basically don't have like shops, don't have anything like a city related places, how they gonna do like side activities? Are there gonna be any side activities?
Making these crime dramas is always the protagonist. We wanted to make sure that our main character.
It's just hard for me to imagine how in this like rural area you can come up with an interesting side activity. Sort of like, again, in Mafia 2 you could potentially just go and rob stores. That's one of the things you could do. You could like pick up cars and then you can go and kind of crush them, sell them. Here, what are you gonna do? Like work in the silver mine? Maybe that's like the best activity.
Favara lives up to the standard which we've set in the past, and I hope in some ways even exceeds that.
All of them.
Yeah, the combat looks pretty amazing if it's gonna be like this.
Grows up sold to the mine owners at this point in history in Sicily. Their life expectancy.
Mr. Crime as a means something of himself. He sees an opportunity to state, swearing the thing he's been searching for is
Emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, the how to say it, like the vehicle, the way they drive it, the effects and everything kind of reminds me of Uncharted 4. It looks pretty good.
Of the Mafia life present opportunities for us as storytellers to really.
You again.
The old authentic Mafia.
I need more gameplay. Yeah, you can ride horses, and I can see that. That's pretty cool.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick Baines, president of Hangar 13. We hope you enjoyed this new look at gameplay in Mafia the Old Country. We're just 3 short months away now from getting this game in your hands, and we can't wait. Mafia the Old Country is an origin story for the Mafia universe, and as such, is both a step forward and a return to the fundamentals of the franchise. The heart of Mafia has always been deep, immersive storytelling, and Mafia the Old Country is no exception. It's a premium experience.
His eyes are mesmerizing.
With a linear narrative set against a
Deep
stunning,
blue,
authentic backdrop
a light
of
blue.
1900 Sicily. That focus has allowed us to deliver a
Was
classic
it grey
organised crime
even?
drama in the period authentic Mafia rules and traditions of the era. And as you just saw, we've made some exciting gameplay updates. Whether you're using a knife or a gun, using stealth or in a shootout, this is brutal and grounded in all the best ways. It's all going to pull you in from every angle.
Wait, what? Sorry, I missed that thing.
Grounded in all the best ways.
It seems like he didn't shoot that thing, like that lamp, it exploded by itself.
It's all going to pull you in from every angle, pushing the franchise forward in a location and time painstakingly created with the utmost authenticity and detail using Unreal Engine 5. Stick around, because next up is our development team. We have loads of awesome behind-the-scenes
Unreal
insights on
Engine
how to do this
5.
project. And stay tuned
Okay.
between now and August,
Looks good, though.
as we'll have even more to tell and show. Thanks for joining us on this journey.
Show me the gameplay.
Come in.
Our top goal for every Mafia game is to deliver the promise to a player that you're going to play a classic mob movie. Mafia the Old Country is a linear crime drama set against a beautiful Sicilian backdrop. The first step for us was to make sure that we were nailing all of the things that players expect from a Mafia game. The quality of its storytelling, how immersive it is, how authentic it is. Previous Mafia games have been set in big American cities.
What you cannot deny that the previous like Mafia games, like I would argue like all of them, including even like the third one that was the least successful, I guess, they have pretty good story. Like always they have classic pretty good story that you just want to follow kinda, and it's like always been the biggest selling point of every Mafia game.
Taken the action and we've put our story in rural Sicily, in the place where the Mafia began.
You really feel like you're transported into another time. It feels really unique and different, but yet really familiar. Players are really going to enjoy that aspect of it.
Our entry point for making these crime dramas is always the protagonist. We wanted to make sure that our main character, Enzo Favara, lives up to the standard which we've set in the past, and I hope in some ways even exceeds that.
All of the men in this room are bound by blood.
Enzo grows up in a sulfur mine. He's one of a bunch of children that are sold to the mine owners at this point in history in Sicily. Their life expectancy is short and they're essentially seen as disposable.
Enzo turns to crime as a means to make something of himself. The odds are stacked against him. So what does he do? He sees an opportunity for himself to gain some status, to gain some respect.
Do you wish to commit to this family? I do.
Swearing the oath is the chance for him to finally be accepted. He's found a family. It's the thing he's been searching for his entire life.
I hope they're not like telling us a little too much for now.
But it comes at a cost.
I think players are in for an emotional roller coaster. The high stakes of the Mafia life present opportunities for us as storytellers to take players and put players through the ringer.
I hope everything they were just told us, it's like the beginning.
Them in the game.
You again.
You again.
What makes a really compelling gameplay experience is the mix of the high intensity combat, cover play, cover shooting.
I like this moment clearly reminds me of like Red Dead Redemption 2, like exactly the same feeling, honestly. When you go inside like any house and you start shooting things, it's just everything breaks, people fall down, you take coverage. Pretty intense too.
Set by these beautiful cinematics that make what you do in the combat so much more meaningful because you're fighting for something you really believe in.
Authenticity and immersion are key. And so we wanted to take that philosophy from the storytelling and make sure that it was consistent in the gameplay.
You know, whether you come for that core cover combat shooting experience or that white knuckle driving experience, we have that in Mafia the Old
Yeah,
Country.
see, like it's kind of heavy. Like the car is not even like turning necessarily. Like it's more like slowly adjusting to where you want to go.
But it's unique.
There's some downbeat.
It's not bad though. It's just like I don't know how good it's gonna be. It's hard to judge by just watching the video.
There's some deep storytelling
You gotta
elements, and
play.
then there's some like high intensity action. And I think that's what makes Mafia missions and the general experience so interesting, is that we're constantly trying to change that roller coaster experience that you're on.
Enzo's proving himself with guns, and we wanted the combat to feel like there was a scarcity of resources, so you have to be more tactical in the way that you approach combat.
That was a bit weird. He touched the guy. He was stealthily approaching. He got so close, and the guy didn't react at all.
The combat to feel
Oh my god, please don't make it like AI as stupid as it was in Mafia 3, please.
like
Like,
there was a
look,
scarcity of resources, so you have to be more tactical.
he
in
stops.
the way that
He literally touches him. No reaction.
approach
And then he
combat.
just
The
gets
knife
killed from the behind.
has been an integral part of gameplay.
Please work on stealth. Please make it a little bit more like something like Metal Gear. I don't know, like
It's a part of Sicilian culture.
We wanted our gameplay to be immersive, to have a life or death kind of vibe. So when players are in a knife duel, when they're in a gunfight, they're genuinely fearing for their lives.
My flesh must burn like this saint if I do not keep my oath.
Bringing
Sicilian
1900 Sicily to
adventure.
life for us, it infuses every aspect of the development. It's about the characters, it's about the music, it's about the story, it's about the setting, it's about the vistas, it's about the vehicles. It's
Bro,
everything.
I want to play
It
this
always starts
so
with
much.
research. It always
I
starts
never
with
played
immersing
such a setting
ourselves
before. It's
in the
just
subject matter.
it feels
So whether
amazing.
that's reading every crime book around the Sicilian Mafia, watching all of the movies, even driving the cars, firing the weapons, and then translating that into the game. That's the development experience.
We even sent some folks out to Sicily. We were then able to take all of those experiences and try to translate it into an on-screen experience, but also a story. And those two things are woven together in a way that I think players are going to really enjoy.
Bravery is not common in this world, Enzo.
The Mafia that we see in Mafia the Old Country is much different than the Mafia that we see in some of the other Mafia games. It's a time-honored tradition steeped in secrecy, and there's this sort of deep honor that we see within the Teresi family and within the characters there.
The characters' relationships with each other, the way they behave, is very much influenced by that setting and that cultural difference.
This is a distinctive experience that I've never played before, and I'm sure that players are going to feel the same.
Yeah, I already kind of feel that that's
Mafia
going to be,
Country is our first,
if not amazing
game
experience,
in
but
the studio,
definitely
and
an
it's
experience that I
particularly
will
suited
remember.
to the Sicilian setting.
We've really been able to push the boat out in terms of sort of the real tiny details on everything.
You know, one of the big ones for me is metahuman. You have
Oh, look at
characters-
this. Is it like...
You have characters that
Details on everything.
Oh my god. It looks like a picture, bro. Looks like a 8K resolution photo. Like this thing.
you know,
And
one
it's
of the big
actually
ones
gameplay, man. This people, unless it's a trailer.
for me is metahuman. You have characters that have really lifelike expressions, micro details. You know, many times when I'm watching the game, especially on a big screen in 4K, I start to forget that they're characters rendered in an engine. They just look like real characters in a movie. I think that's the level of immersion that we want, and it allows people, I think, to really suspend their disbelief and go along for the ride.
Enzo is beautifully rendered in the game, and I think he's one of the most compelling game characters we've seen for a long time.
The thing I'm most excited about from Mafia the Old Country is finally getting the game in players' hands.
The story pulls you through really quickly, and at the end, it takes your breath away, and it's one that you're not going to want to spoil for your friends.
The visuals and the storytelling are absolutely next level.
Our setting's completely distinctive, our story's completely unique. This is a game that you haven't played before. The best crime stories have unforgettable twists, and this game's no exception. Players are in for a treat.
Welcome, Enzo.
I believe them. Pre-order. Well, never pre-order. We're still a second of when it's coming out. August 8, 2025. Oh, it's coming pretty soon, actually. Damn. Okay, I thought it's gonna be like in another like 6 months or something. Guys, if not for anything else, support them because they support players with reasonable prices compared to everyone else. Reasonable prices. Okay, let me check Steam. Mafia. The Old Country. It's only $50? Wow. Okay. 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 Yeah. Pretty reasonable. Not gonna lie. The hell is this? Somehow I managed to get to the big picture mode. $50? You know what? I might buy it actually. Well, you got my money here. Hold me over until GTA 6. Yeah. That's an amazing marketing strategy, not gonna lie. But man, still don't pre-order, dudes. Like, people don't learn. People just never learn. Oh my god. Just because of these kind of people, like, I'm not saying this game is bad or something like that. I'm saying just for every single game in the world, pre-ordering, even if it's, I think like, even if it's, okay, the only exception I would probably like say like, the only one company, the only one game I think you can pre-order and you're gonna get, if not amazing experience, but good experience, it's GTA 6 maybe. That's like one of the games that just comes to my mind. But for the most of the game, no, don't pre-order. You never learn. I'm sure. The hype is real. Dude, can't wait. Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm not gonna pre-order, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it. And once it's gonna get released, I'm gonna see some reviews. Then I'm gonna buy it. If it's good. But I will never pre-order.